Just kind of finishing up on Saturday night, we beat a good team. South Alabama played well. They lost some tough ones at the end, and we were fortunate to get to win. I was really proud of our players and their fight and resilience and the way they kept playing and to get the win. I was disappointed that we had a 10-point lead and weren't able to hold on to it with our defense. Gave up a couple deep balls, great throws by Matheny and great catches. So they put them in the only place they could to really complete them, and they did it, but not good for us in that regard. Idaho, future Sun Belt opponent, not in the league this year, but we'll be playing them more in the future. They have a new coaching staff, as you probably know, and have made a lot of changes. And, they got thrown into the conference realignment without a place to go there for a little bit, and as a result, their record, I think, is a little deceiving, and they have played a tough schedule when you think about playing Ole Miss, Fresno, Wyoming, Washington State, Northern Illinois. They're 35-35 with Northern Illinois at home in the fourth quarter, so I think they've, for the most part, been a different team at home than they are on the road, which most of us are, and that game's a good example of that. Fresno handled them at home, but obviously Fresno's a pretty elite football team right now, so we need to take them serious and respect what they have been able to do and understand the schedule that they've played has been pretty tough.
Let's go back to Saturday night. You guys think your ways at the later games over the last 2 weeks, and what do y'all want to this year?
I wish there was a certain tactic that we could review and change. I'm not certain that that's not going to be life in the Sun Belt as I watch this league, Steve. The South Alabama gets beat by Troy. Troy throws in almost a Hail Mary from the 20-yard line on the last play of the game. They got Tennessee that they got the ball inside the 10. You start looking at scores, and there's a touchdown difference or less in most games. So I think that's just, in this league, I told the players this last week, and I think we just have to understand that you're going to have to play all 60 minutes to get a W in this league because there's not a lot of separation in the league. Lafayette may have a little bit of that separation right now, but after that, boy, there's not a whole lot there, and we've all had to play our BCS games, and we've all got our injuries to deal with, and we just have to overcome those things. But I just think life in the Sun Belt is going to be close, hard-fought games if both teams are ready to play, and they were Saturday night.
Isn't that what you want from your team, though? You told us for a while you want your team to be mentally tough and battle-tested. In Sun Belt, if that's what it's going to be, that's exactly what you want with Spurs.
Well, that was the whole charge in the beginning. I think we felt like that there wasn't a lot of difference going into this league as we studied it for the most part, and that you were going to have to win close games, and then we hadn't really been very good at that. So, it correlates to getting better, and getting better at that. They go hand in hand, and you're right. That's what we had to have and what we needed to do.
Let's take us back to the past. The past year, obviously, you put yourself in a bad spot to intercept the penalties there on that drive. What were y'all were in the wildest dreams of the that past year?
Well, at the time you don't have time to think about wild dreams. You just are trying to think of a call that I would give you a chance to complete it, and we call 4 verticals, which in our vernacular, which was the best call you could get to complete 4th and 24. And I think really the key to the play was that protection broke down a little bit, and Tyler had to scramble, and once he scrambled, what happens so often, and we've seen it happen to us. Secondary guys all of a sudden flat foot or move out of area just a little bit, and that's kind of what happened to them. Their corner safety lost relationship just a little bit, and we found a little seam, and Tyler made a great throw, and Ben made a great catch. But you know, there's not enough time to do much thinking about other than what the next play is going to be.
I don't know if you can do this, but after I texted Schultz as well, he said that he was hoping the interference stuff.
Well, he mentioned that to me afterwards too. He said, I was just hoping we could throw one up that we get a PI and get a first down out of it and extend the drive. And that was a good thought. I mean, at this point in time, if you're throwing up deep ones, you're going to get a few PIs.
After the Lafayette game, he told us that lots of teams in the high school get big over the environment. What are you going to do this week to keep it moving that game environment out after two straight games, top three, everybody's thinking forward again? How do you kind of consider those up?
You know, the bad side of the Lafayette game was what happened, and we didn't play very well. The good side of it that we can draw from is we've been there and we hopefully have learned a lesson. You know, we're on win number 5 now, so I shouldn't have to sit and paint a picture here what the possibilities are for us now. You know, we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about it, but we all know what 6 means, and players know what 6 means, and so with those things, with those thoughts, I mean, if with the Lafayette thing and with the possibility for a 6th win out there, then if you can't get ready to play on those things, then you probably don't deserve to get 6 wins.
Other than being an important step in the process, let's say, what does 6 mean to the development of this program as you've been trying to do it? You think it's just, is it another step? Where's it big?
Well, obviously, the opportunity to get to postseason is huge, especially when you think about as early as this is in our FBS career, that have the chance to do that. I don't know how many teams, I'd have to really go back historically and study it. Rick may know off the top of his head, but there haven't been many in their year 2 that have been able to do that. So for us, it would be a pretty big step. You know, there are lots of ramifications after you achieve it and have the opportunity from extra practice standpoints to recruiting standpoints and things like that. So,
Isn't that really the biggest thing about the goal is you get 2 extra practices?
15 is the max. Yeah, I mean, what you can do is have a little bit of a mini spring practice for your young players, which is huge. I've always said one of the biggest discrepancies in the rules that we have is that the bowl teams get all this more practice time and the non-bowl teams don't. We both get 15 in the spring. I've often said the non-bowl teams ought to get 3 or 4 more days, just from the standpoint of balancing things out. And they probably need it more than the ones that get it, you know. But it just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But it is I think it is a huge benefit.
When you guys made the switch to Jason at kicker, you also changed up the blocking scheme. What exactly happened there? What did you change the blocking scheme? What do you see was not working? What's working so well now that you guys have been able to get the field goals off and been able to take pressure off the line maybe a little bit to get the snap where it needs to be? What do you see out of Jason to put him in that situation?
You know, we really didn't. We kind of adjusted our wings a little bit, but that was really the only technique adjustment that we made. I think we may have put our guards in a 3-point stance to get them lower. Our problem probably was not enough full speed looks in August camp. It is a play you can get piled up and kind of raise the risk of injury. And we got blown up a little bit by the big defensive lineman from Southern Miss. We were erratic in maintaining our gaps. It was almost like in the beginning, it was a new stick the finger in in the hole in a new dike somewhere because something showed up. Okay, that didn't show up last time, and now we got this one. And so it kind of, we worked really hard on it on open week. Jason's problem that we didn't move him up was his trajectory. His ball was low, his ball flight. I was afraid he would get blocked, especially in line of protection. Will's trajectory was much better. Will's accuracy was erratic. And if we tried a long field goal, we would still go to Will. Jason has been steady, and the thing, I told him several times during 1 week, if you can't get the ball up, I can't kick you. And so he worked really hard at that, to his credit, and started getting it up, and our protection started getting better. So now you felt like, okay, now we don't raise the risk of getting one blocked. And so the rest is history after that. He's done a great job.
What is the extent of Jason's range, do you think? Is that, the game winner seemed like it was from 8? It seemed like he just put a absolute leg into it. Where should the decision maybe if you guys didn't reach 26 or whatever you did, just double those?
Yeah. Well, we kind of, Brad always tells me before the game what our range is with the wind or without. And in that game, we kind of, what he had told me was we need the 30-yard line in that game. Either one, he didn't feel like the wind was that big a factor. Now, some weeks he, it's vary a little bit more, but with Jason for consistency, accuracy, and trajectory, probably the 30-yard line is what we would think. And that's why I think the other night there might have been a time I went for it at about the 37 or 38 on fourth down. Maybe a couple times. That, what's happened is the 40 to the 30 or the 45 to the 30 plus, we're thinking 4 down territory a little bit. But it always crosses your mind to try to cut them down with the part where our defense is playing too.
So it started the year, we talked about our secondary vision, and the strength of this team, Fran, Xavier, Justin. You guys were last in the league. That's the first step. Another place, strength of offense. We talked about that part of the game as you guys backed up. Just now the schedule that you played, you can't press it more like play the game in the night.
There's something to what you're saying, Steve, but I think you also have to look at pass efficiency defense, which we're not too bad at. And, understand that playing Tech and playing some of those teams we played there for a while, you're going to have some passing yards against you. That's just the way it's going to be. And, sometimes you can lead the country in pass defense and you play all rushing. So the stat can be skewed just a little bit. The thing that we can't do that's hurt us probably in the whole picture of pass defense, we've let 4 or 5 balls go over our head. Okay, and the other night the 2 balls that went over our head were about as well thrown as you could throw them. I'm telling you. And one, the next to last one down here was as much of an acrobatic catch as you can get. Now they still made it. They completed it. We didn't defend it well. I've talked to Craig about sometimes we leave our corners. At some point in time, you're in one-on-one coverage no matter what if they get long enough to throw the football. But there are some things we can do to double team over the top. Play what we call Tampa 2 coverage, or something where we give our corner some help sometimes. And I think we need to we've talked about doing more of that now to not always put our corners in a position where if their technique's off a little bit or they're off a step or the guy makes a great catch, that we get ourselves hurt by the deep ball. When you blitz, and we have come after people pretty good this year, you do put yourself in more one-on-ones. South Alabama did a great job of picking us up the other night. I thought our pass rush from a defensive line standpoint the other night was not very good. You don't want to, as a pass rusher, you don't want to be on half the body. You want to be on the edge. Too often we ended up in half the body, and now we're stuck. And so now it doesn't matter what you do, bull rush or spin or move, it's not going to be very good. And so part of that the other night was the success their offensive line had in pass pro and arc, lack of success of getting pressure on the quarterback too. And we played a senior quarterback, and I think it was very vivid the other night that he was a senior quarterback. I mean, other than one interception, not too much bothered him. Aaron Matthews should have had one, but not too much bothered him. He was pretty heady throughout the game.
Speaking of quarterbacks, who are you expecting from Idaho? Because I know they had a few injuries here and there. Who are they trying out there? Who did they try out there against Ole Miss? What does he do?
They played the second guy. I think his name is Taylor something. Challenge that evidently was hurt last week. We don't know status for this week right now, but we know he didn't play last week. I don't know why. I think it's a shoulder. I may be totally off base here. For some reason that stuck in my mind. So we just have to get ready for both right now. I don't know how to break it down. Challenge is probably a little more athletic, mobile. The other guy's probably a little bit more of a drop back guy. Appears they've got a good run back. They've got a good receiver, kind of like Georgia State had. So a lot of similarities. A lot more formations this week. A lot more multiple offense. A lot more two-back sets. Probably than we've seen. Maybe Georgia State would be a similar type from personnel groupings and things type of offense. So a little bit different than some of the teams we've seen.
I mean, a lot of them made from the kid they recruited, their kicker, awesome Rick Howe, I think. From tape, just is he as good as it seems like? He seems like a Will Johnson kind of punter, gets a good leg in it and a good kicker too that can hurt you there.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good. He's a true freshman, I believe, and he's punting the ball great, and he's not kicking a lot of them out of the end zone on kickoff, but he's been fairly accurate on his field goals. He has kicked more out of the end zone at home. I don't know if there's a win advantage in the kicking to him or not. I wouldn't think so, but he does seem to kick more out at home. But he does a good job. He's a good kicker, so we're be a good challenge for our kickers. We have kind of the unique thing. You probably figured this out. All three of our guys have been Sunbelt Player of the Week this year. Will, Zach, and Jason now. So Jason was Sunbelt Player of the Week this week. So that bodes well for what we're trying to do with special teams and get it done.
On kick returns, some of they were kicking away from Brad Smith. Would you plan on putting James Franchione back there with him in the season for return as well?
You sit in our staff meetings?
What's that?
Have you been sitting in our staff meetings? That's our conversation right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Put Japhus back there. Japhus is just now getting pretty healthy and pretty confident. So yeah, I think we'll probably look at him this week.
Because when you have that, the way you guys work, is that a season defining win for you guys? I know you got a lot of work to do in 4 games to play, but losing that game was really hard.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to answer that today, Steve. It could be. I'm not sure when you're in the middle of the forest like we are right now that you identify a season-making play. I was thinking about it before I came in here. I just kind of looked at our press release and Craig Mager's steal of that ball at Southern Miss and running for a touchdown was a pretty huge play. So I that's one of those things. It's what we make out of it now, and I'm not sure I'll be able to quantify that until we look back and make some statements. Tyler Jones' pass right before half against Wyoming was pretty big. The fourth down pass the other night was pretty big. So it's for me right now. I'm too much engulfed in Idaho and not enough engulfed in Idaho.
Much forest for the trees right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Todd, let's talk about how you progress. Let's get honest and talk about that. we all go to golf, and we make a place at the end of it.
He did. He made plenty of mistakes still. Little things that, with experience, he won't make. And we're getting a better grasp of what situations we can put him in, at least. We knew going into this game we were going to have to be more diverse offensively to win the game. And we felt like against Georgia State, after the Monroe game, that if we ran the ball like we thought we could, we wouldn't have to put him in too tough a situations. But we knew that wasn't true in the South Alabama game. He gets better on a weekly basis. We get a better feel for him on a weekly basis. When you deal with a freshman, they amaze you. They amaze you in what they don't know yet, and they amaze you in what they do know already. We just, the more time we get with him, the better he gets, the better understanding we get of what his, I asked him a lot of questions in practice. Why'd you do that? What'd you do here? What were you thinking? I think sometimes he gets perturbed at me because I do this all the time. I tell him, I gotta figure out what you know and aren't sure of, so that it's like the first interception against Monroe. That was probably our fault as much as his fault. We thought he knew something and we were wrong. Okay. Second one was his fault. All right. So that's just going to be the learning process this year as we go through. But it does get better every week. And you complicate it a little bit, Steve, in that each week's a new defense, each week's a new game plan. It's not like we change our offense or plays a lot, but the checks, we do this here, we do this here. There's a little play, I give a great example the other night. We're down here, it's third down and 3 or 4, we're down here at this end, late in the third. And we have a play package called, and if it's one, we want to run it to this technique or that technique. Well, he ran it to the right technique, but what he didn't see was the entire secondary swarmed to the field, and they were going to bring strong safety blitz, so it wasn't going to be a good play to that technique. Now, I saw it and told Mike on the headset, maybe I should call timeout here because I'm not sure he's seen that. And I thought, no, he saw this. No, he didn't see it. Okay. So, those are things that we're still working through a little bit. And that's not his fault. That's our fault for not clearly defining the picture of seeing the entire scope of the defense as well as we needed for him to. But in defensive us, that takes time too.
As every week we get more strong on Tyler and understanding the defense is back in our defense, and it's good success.
Yeah, we're getting to the point in time in the season, there aren't many secrets. So you are what you are, and we all try to find ways to manipulate our formations and game plans to put ourselves in the best situation we can for the players we have, and then to attack the players they have. Things like that. So it's just that's where we are. We need to. I always think at this point in time of the season, only 2 things are happening: you're getting better or you're getting worse. I hate to say that, but that's the way it is. And you are what you are. Fortunately, I think for the most part we're getting better. I don't think we're getting worse. It doesn't always show with some of the competition, but I know our offensive lines played better the last couple of weeks. I know our quarterback's getting better. Our backs are solid. Our receivers played better. Corners had a tough fourth quarter, but I still think our football team's going in the right trending direction at this point.